Hello everyone and welcome back to Nighttime. My name is Emily Aaron and let me tell you we have a very exciting show today. We are joined by a very special guest and we are talking football of course. Stay tuned for a great show and Nighttime starts now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Welcome back to episode 7 of Nighttime. I actually can't believe it's already episode 7. We are over halfway done with this year. Now today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We actually have something very special, but before we get into it, I'm going to ask you, Emily, nice to have you back. How are you doing today?
I am great. I'm so excited to be here and I'm even more excited for this segment that's coming up. I cannot wait to see it.
Right, I can't wait to get into it. As always, great to have you here. I had this great opportunity this last week. As a program, it was a great opportunity. We got to interview the forward for UCF women's soccer team, Kristen Scott. Not only is she great on the field and that team is great, but you know she's a person behind the scenes. She has things that she does with her life. And we got to interview her last Friday to actually get a little bit of insight on who she is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll this interview from this last week. So first of all, I want to ask you, how did you get your love and passion for the sport?
I don't know. I think it just kind of like grew as I grew. I was put into it when I was 4, just as an introductory thing, you know, like parents do. And I just ended up never quitting, I guess. Like, you know, a lot of people play that like 1 or 2 years of soccer when they're young. And I just think I slowly fell in love with it as I grew up.
Okay, so there's like that transition between like playing when you're 4 years old, like you said, and then never quitting to like when you get to high school, get to college. How did you know when you were like going to be good enough to at least play at the collegiate level?
I think like my desire, I actually like kind of remember this. It was like this girl that I went to middle school with, and we were in choir class, and we were sitting there, and she had gotten like an email from the University of Kentucky, and you know, she was like a year older than me, so she was starting to like think about college, and that was the first time in my life where I think I was like, whoa, like I really want to do that. And like I think my competitive juices kicked in. I was like, you're getting emails and I'm not getting emails. Like, what do you mean? And I think from there on out, like I always saw it as something for myself. Yeah, I'd say it's really like a competitive thing. Like I have random weird little memories like that. Like when I was in 4th grade, we had to pick like a career for this like future job day or whatever. And I remember I picked like professional soccer player, and my teacher told me to pick a more realistic career. So I had to switch it to like an orthopedic surgeon. And now part of me is like, I kind of just want to go to pro to be like, hey, this is realistic. So people know.
I love that. It's awesome to hear because, you know, obviously that you need to choose something more realistic probably hit you a little bit saying, I'm going to prove you wrong. So
Exactly.
you're out here living your dream. There's a lot of people that, you know, they look up to, they want to do, maybe not exactly what you're doing, but they want to accomplish your dream. So what would you want to say to like those people who, you know, just never to give up and to try to accomplish their dreams?
I mean, just keep working, you know, don't quit. And that's kind of like what I've been doing. And there's definitely, you know, been ups and downs and, you know, injuries, setbacks in various ways. Being a collegiate athlete's a mental battle as much as it is a physical one. But as you said, it's a love and it's a passion. And when you have that kind of emotion towards something, you stick with it. And I think that for most people with the goals they've chosen for themselves, like they find that same love and passion for what they're doing.
All right. So you said you were in choir class. Was that about high school you're talking about?
That was a middle school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you any good?
No, it was like horrible. We had to pick like a musical elective, and I can't play an instrument to save my life, so choir it was.
That's funny. So, what was the experience like for you getting to play on that Orlando Pride team before your time at UCF?
I mean, it was great. The academy over there is wonderful. I had great coaches, extremely developmental. I mean, I have a number of coaches back in my adolescence, pre-college, experience that were, absolutely amazing and shaped me, each one shaped me in very different ways. But over at the Pride, I had a couple position changes. That's where I became more of an attacker and really had big tactical transitions that I think, still impact my game a lot today.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more question about high school, about Edgewater. So you went there, and I don't know, was your dad a teacher there, a physics teacher at that school? So you were a part of a math club, I saw, or something like that, president of a math team of some kind. Was that like a genetic thing why you got into math or into things like that? I also saw you were valedictorian. So how did you, focusing on academics, be able to do that?
So my club coaches always pushed academics a lot. They always told us like, hey, when you're in the recruiting process, if it's you and another girl that are both equal soccer-wise, they're going to take the one with better academics. And so that for me was always like a way to get that competitive edge soccer-wise. And I've always been someone that like loves learning. So it was never a big ask of me. Like I didn't really have parents that like checked on my grades, which is surprising because my dad was my teacher for 2 years. But they never really had to like look out for me because like I knew the importance of it, and so I prioritized it. But it was like I really had amazing teachers. The math club had like nothing to do with my dad. I just had a really good math teacher for stats and calc, and he was just someone who like really, really believed in me. And so he put me in that president like leadership role in the club and pushed me to like further myself academically. So I'm grateful for Edgewater and everything that they gave me.
Do you think that leadership role when you were there on that math team kind of helped out with where you are now, kind of making you who you are today?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you have leadership roles in every area of your life. So, I mean, that helped. I'm the oldest of 4 girls at home, and, being the oldest is a leadership role. And, you find it in every area of your life. There's ways to, find ways to develop your skills as a leader. And, I'm grateful for every opportunity I've had to get me to where I am.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to a little bit of your time here at UCF so far. I'll start out with Coach Tiff right now. So what about her is different than maybe some other coaches in the past that like sets her apart with her playing experience and her coaching experience on the women's national team?
I think you just like, she's a winner. She's just a winner, and she's proven she's a winner. So, you don't question her mentality ever, that she's going to do whatever it takes to get it done. She's going to prioritize winning every day. And I think like I've had a lot of very, very good coaches and coaches that understand the game. And I mean, Tiff obviously does that too, but she just brings that extra like mental piece, the determination, and just like the willingness to do anything to catch a dub. And she translates that throughout the team.
So like you mentioned earlier, one of your sisters, I believe Kaylee is the one that plays on the team with you, right? Is that her name?
Yeah.
So what is that like, getting to play with your sister all the way up at the collegiate level? I mean, that's got to feel great that both of you have made it this far together.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Kaylee and I were really close. We obviously grew up together. So I have a stepsister and a half sister, and Kaylee's we have the same 2 parents. Kaylee and I have really grown up together our whole lives. And we've on and off played on teams together over at Edgewater and stuff. And when she was looking at schools and she was really interested in UCF because I was just coming home. I had so many good things to say about the program here. And I was really excited when she was considering it. And I remember Coach Tiff asked me if like that would be something I was okay with if they were to like really recruit her. And I was like, yeah, no, it'd be great. Bring her. Let's do it. And I think part of that was just me thinking like it would be so weird if she was somewhere else. Like I don't want to play against her. I don't want her to be my competition. Like I want to, develop together like we always have.
So obviously it seems like you're very family oriented, and we read one of your articles from the 2020 Shield article that you wrote, and you talked about the pandemic, which was obviously tough on everybody, but you did say a little bit of light that you made out of it was that you got to go back home and reconnect with your sisters. So back there, when you went to go find yourself, find some family time, what was that experience like for you?
Yeah. I mean, I was really grateful for it at the end of the day. So it's one of the reasons I stayed in Orlando for school. I mean, like obviously like UCF's facilities and staff, everybody's amazing, but my family's here, which had a big pull. My youngest sister is 12 years younger than me, and I was always kind of nervous about like our relationship, and I didn't want to be like that distant relative that like only saw her on Christmas and was like, oh my God, look how big you are. Like, that's my sister. She's not my second cousin, you know? So I was really grateful like to be able to bond with her and spend a lot of time with her and my mom, who's just like always been, you know, my rock. She's just very grounding. And so it's nice to like have them there when, you know, things aren't going your way or there's a global pandemic.
So you didn't really have a lot of time back then to play soccer when you were at home. So what did you do like during the pandemic? You know, obviously all of us were stuck at home. What did you pick up and end up doing in that time?
Well, I was a little bit back and forth between my house and like my house at UCF. I would go see my family, and then I had my one roommate, Matilda Matu. So it was just the two of us in our house. So we would like go see my parents, and then we would like stay at the house together. Because she's French, so she was kind of stuck here. We just kind of like juggled all the time. Like we just like played soccer in the house, tried the toilet paper juggling challenge, which she has like probably 50 or 60 videos on her phone of me very unable to do it. And yeah, that just like kept us busy, kept the time moving. So it was kind of like bouncing back and forth between like just her and I and getting to see family.
So you're the oldest of your sisters, and obviously that's a big responsibility to try to, you know, teach them everything you know and kind of guide them in the right direction. So not only what have you taught them, but what have you learned from them? Because sometimes the youngest can also teach you some things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've learned much from Claire yet. She's 10, and except maybe like just to always watch what I'm doing because they're always learning. You don't realize like how much they listen to you until they say it back, and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to teach her that one. So they teach you what not to teach them. And then Kaylee, I mean, she inspires me all the time. You know, she tore ACL last year, which was like really hard for her to go through, and it just sucked to watch her have to experience that. Kaylee's like one of those people that's just like such a ball of sunshine to everyone. She's just so kind to everyone and so happy all the time, and just like deserves nothing bad, you know. So to watch her go through something like that was tough. But you know, I learned a lot about hard work and perseverance and just overcoming battles by watching her experience that. And then Eleanor's my other sister. Me and Kaylee are actually like only a month apart, but she's up in Gainesville. So unfortunately, I don't get to see her very much. Because we do have limited time together, it makes every moment very special. And, you know, I think we try to impact each other as much as possible whenever we get this.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about some of the teammates that you've got on this great UCF team. If you were to vote one teammate as the class clown, who would it be? Cannot say yourself.
Oh no, it's not me. Don't worry. Dayana Martin.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Any reason for that?
She's just always got jokes. She's always got something to say. And it's usually pretty funny and out of pocket.
All right. So we know that soccer takes up most of your time. We know you're really busy, but in your free time, are there any hobbies that you like to do or anything that you enjoy doing?
Free time. Right. You know, I do a lot of schoolwork. No, I really enjoy like in the summers, you know, like going and being out in nature. I like going to the beach, and I like you know, my roommates and I, we do like go for walks sometimes and things like that, just like being outside, kayaking, that kind of stuff when like I really do have a day off. I don't know, almost hard to remember.
When the last time that was.
Right. And like a day off where I actually have some energy. Like my off days in season, I'm in my bed watching Netflix, not moving my body at all.
So are you an animal person at all, or a dog person, anything like that?
Yeah, I grew up with a couple of dogs, not really a cat person, but like they're okay.
Okay, what kind of dogs?
When I was really little, we had a golden retriever. They got her like a couple months before I was born, and so we had her till I was 11. And then we adopted a mutt when I was a sophomore in high school. He passed away about a week ago. We had to put him down, and then we got a COVID puppy. Yeah, it's it happens. Got to go say goodbye, so that was good because I live near my family. And we got a COVID puppy. So Oakley is great. I mean, he's a little ball of energy, but like the sweetest thing, big cuddler, and yeah, I love dogs.
So you said on your off day you usually like to just watch Netflix shows. So on those off days, what's your go-to show?
Well, Katie Bradley actually put me on to In the Dark, so I've been watching that. I just finished the first season. I think there's like 4, so that's that one. My like comfort show is, I guess it's New Girl now, but I was like big on The Office until they took it off of like everything. But yeah.
The Office is one of my favorite shows as well, but a lot of people here love New Girl, so you just made a lot of people very happy. So what is your best UCF memory right now? I'll start with non-soccer related. So in your long time here, what's been like your best memory?
Oh my God, what a question. 5 years, you want one moment.
Yeah.
Non-soccer. This is tough.
If it's easier to do soccer related, I'll give you that one too.
Soccer is definitely easier. I mean, there's still like multiple that stick out. Penn State, beating Penn State at home with a lightning delay. Craziest feeling. Non-soccer.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
It is. Graduating felt pretty good. Graduating felt great. It was like, I've been here 4 years and I finally have something to show for it that no one can take away from me. Family came out, and it was a good day. It was kind of like a weight off your shoulders kind of good day. But yeah, surrounded by loved ones, you can't really ask for much more.
So graduating, that's a pretty big deal. What did you actually graduate in?
Finance.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right. So do you plan on using that degree when you're done, like with your time in soccer? Is there anything that you want to do like in the future after you graduate, after you're like done playing soccer?
Yeah, I've got some goals. I am actually currently in the DeVos program, which it's a dual master's. So I'm working on my MBA and my master's in sports business management right now. So my background in finance, and business in general, like does help with that a lot. And my goal is to start a nonprofit for girls and women in sport, to just battle some issues that I've seen in my time as an athlete. And I think that having a business background and MBA could really assist me in that. But I have had a part-time job for the last 2 years at Northwestern Mutual. I work in financial advising, so it's definitely helped me over there. And I love what I do there. People I work with are absolutely amazing. So yeah.
That's great. So you seem very busy then if you're going to be playing soccer and you're also like working at a place like that. So
I laughed when you said free time.
Yeah, free time. So let me see. So after you graduate, you want to do stuff like that. But those issues that you talked about, what are those issues that you are passionate about? It's like you said, that nonprofit organization for girls, that's pretty important. So go ahead and just talk about more of those.
Yeah. I guess there's there's a few issues, but I'd say like the two like very prevalent ones right now. I'm not sure if you're aware of the U.S. soccer investigation into the NWSL that just came out. Had found a lot of issues of sexual harassment, bullying, things like that across many different clubs and many different people covering it up. That's got to stop. There's just so many issues of power in sports in general. And then when you have a bunch of men leading a bunch of women, I think that it can get sketchy. So just different avenues for women to feel more comfortable to speak out, protection programs for them, not just in soccer, but across different leagues and across different age levels, because it's not only a problem in the professional game. And then the other issue that speaks pretty close for me is just body image with women. I think that the media portrays various things, And unfortunately, body types trend. Currently, it's either very, very skinny or pretty thick, and feet are typically just really muscular, wherever you fall in that spectrum. We're generally kind of cut, can be thought of to ourselves as, bulkier, just not how we're like supposed to look compared to everybody else. But like there's beauty in our bodies, and they help us do everything amazing that we're capable of on the field. So I want to develop programs to help women in sport, recognize that and appreciate, and really just feel fulfilled with, what they have and what they're capable of.
That was a great answer. You kind of did touch on this, but a lot of these powerful organizations out there are male dominated, and you are a woman in sports who has an image. So what is that like? What are you able to do differently to be able to, kind of get rid of that sort of, that sort of image in the world of these men dominated organizations?
For me, I'm never going to say bring down other people. It's not bringing down men, it's bringing up women. And I think that that's something I've been extremely grateful to have played under Tiff for. She's a very, strong woman, and she gets what she wants, and, we have an all male coaching staff besides that, but Tiff calls shots, and Tim too. But, I just, I want to see women, not be afraid. And, situations can get scary. Situations can get threatening. It's a lot harder to come forward than a lot of people think it is. But I think that the only way we get close to solving issues we see today is by empowering and building women upward in their confidence and self-esteem. And that's where I think that, the issues I've discussed really tie in together, because it's total self-image, it's total who am I, and your body factors into that, and those are the things that will really help women rise up.
Well, you seem very passionate about it, and we know you're very busy. So again, thank you for coming. But I got one more question for you. Just a little personal. Would you ever coach soccer when you're done with your career? Just want to know.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Not at like a crazy level, I don't think. So I was just recently injured this season. I missed a couple games. It's like frustrating. It's frustrating. I think I felt like a coach for the first time in my life, and I was like, I don't know how they do this. Like, you can't go out there and, you see the problems and you see solutions because everything's clear on the sideline. And you can't do anything about it. And I was like, I remember calling my mom after one of the games and being like, I don't think this is for me. It's so frustrating. But no, I could see myself coaching, like kids or a local high school or something like that. But I don't think I would ever strive for a level higher than that.
Well, hey, it was not fun not watching you out there, because we do love to see you out there. But what was it like to see, that team grow over the last month without you? Like, what did you see from the bench that, you love to watch this team grow and get better?
Yeah, you're watching your same teammates, you got so much love for them, and watching, people step up. Diana coming into like a starting role has been amazing and put a little more weight on her shoulders, and it's really like can help people blossom. And so I think like it was just great to see everybody, learning and, thriving. And maybe we didn't have the most amazing record in those 4 games, but we played some extremely challenging teams, and I thought we did so well. So, just a lot of like proud moments toward everybody. Everybody's just giving all they have, just like they would any other game. But this team is something I'm really proud of.
Well, Kristen, I appreciate you coming and talking to us. Congratulations on 30 career goals, by the way. Alex just told me that about yesterday, so that's a huge accomplishment. But thank you so much for letting us do this interview with you. But those are all the questions I have for you.
Of course. Great. Thank you for having me.
Well, that right there was that wonderful opportunity that we got to interview Kristen Scott from the UCF women's soccer team. Once again, thank you so much to Kristen and, of course, Alex Funderburg for setting up that whole interview. We loved the presence. We loved having her on, getting to learn a little bit about herself. But Now that we're done talking about that, let's go ahead and throw back over to Emily, Aaron. Let's go ahead and get your nightlight in.
All right, Camden, my nightlight player is someone who we love to talk about on this show. She plays for our UCF women's soccer team. She is one of 3 Knights named first team all-conference. Let's see if you can guess this wonderful player when we get back from this commercial break. Welcome back, and if you haven't guessed my nightlight player, it is Kristen Scott. I'm so excited that she got to do this interview with Camden, so might as well have her be our nightlight player. She is one of 3 Knights named all-team first conference, 32 goals, career goals actually, with 2 of them being from this year, 5 shots on goal this year, and 4,500 career minutes played for UCF. She's a wonderful soccer player, and we are so excited to see what she has for future games. All right, let's go to my favorite topic. Let's talk football. We are here with Noah and Tyler. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's talk UCF versus Temple. Let's do a little recap on that game. We won 70-13. It was a blowout. It was an awesome game. Guys, what do you think about this game?
I mean, it was a dominating performance all around for UCF. I think the biggest player who's not getting a lot of recognition, Kobe Hudson. He had his breakout game of the season, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the offense has just been clicking week in, week out ever since that Louisville game. It's been great.
It's definitely impressive. 737 total yards. Plumlee had 7 touchdowns combined. I mean, this is the same team that was trailed in the first quarter, up only 4 at the end of the first. 70-13. I mean, what an adjustment.
Every time I looked up, it seemed like they were scoring another touchdown. I mean, like, look up, touchdown, look up, touchdown.
It was crazy.
We know Plumlee did great, all right? We saw those numbers that he had. But UCF, we got a little bit of a tough game this week going on against East Carolina. Emily, this could be called a trap game because next week's that game against Cincinnati. You think we'll be able to pull this one off?
Correct. I think this game's going to be a warm-up for us. I think we need a little bit of a even playing field. I feel like this we're 10-10 with ECU, so I feel like this will be a great like setting point for us to see what we can do versus Cincinnati. So last time we played them, we won 20-16. This is our most played team against UCF. We have played this team the most. So I feel like this will just be like another easy little game. We'll get through it, and we will be built up and ready to go to play against Cincinnati.
I don't want to call that one an easy game yet because East Carolina might be a tough game. Noah, Tyler, what do you think? They're going to win?
Yeah, I think they're gonna win. They've got a chip on their shoulder, you know, with the Louisville loss, and I think this football team really wants to enter that Cincinnati game ranked, which is a real possibility because UCF, they're one of the top 3 teams still receiving votes in the AP poll. So I think a big win over ECU can get us where we want to be for that Cincinnati game.
Noah, what about you?
I mean, I completely agree. I honestly think the 5-point spread is a little disrespectful for UCF. I mean, we just came off a 57-point win, and this will not be another Louisville team. This is a struggling East Carolina team, given that our track record might not be the greatest with them, but I do believe we can pull out a convincing win.
You better be careful about that, all right? If they lose, I'm having you on to talk about it, all right? Emily, let's go ahead and get into our game this week that we're going to go do. It's going to be Texas against Oklahoma State since we're running low on time. I'm going with Texas. I think Quinn Ewer is going to get the job done. Emily, what you got?
No, I'm going Oklahoma State for sure. It's going to be a very close game, I think, because your quarterback is coming in. But Texas only beat Iowa State by 3. So I feel like we got this game. We're 5-1. Texas is 5-2. So just the stats, it all adds up. Oklahoma State should be winning this game.
While you're right, Texas is undefeated with Quinn Ewers other than the injury game. So now that he's back, maybe they'll win. Noah, Tyler, real quick, who's going to win that game?
I mean, I hope they both lose as an Oklahoma fan. I truly hate this. It is a rough time, but I think you got to give the edge to Texas here.
Woo!
This is a super stacked team offensively. Quinn Ewers, who's been great, but John Robinson, best running back in college football, Xavier Worthy at receiver. It's just a star-studded, loaded roster on offense, and I don't know if Oklahoma State can keep up.
Wow, a lot of love there for Texas. Noah, quick pick.
He's just saying that because his team got blown out by 49. Oklahoma State's winning this game.
Wow.
Thank you.
Now, both teams may be atrocious against the passing game, but, I mean, if you really look at it overall, I think Oklahoma State is going to win this game, and it is going to be a high-scoring affair right there.
All right,
Completely
Emily,
agree
thank
with
you.
Your
you.
team, Noah.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have left. Thank you so much to Kristen Scott for being on our show, and thank you to our guests, Noah and Tyler, for talking football with us. We will see you on our next episode of Nighttime. Go Knights and charge on.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.